Hey guys, welcome back to Perkins Pulse. Obviously, I'm Gabrielle. Today we're going to be looking at a 1963 Pro Street Corvette. She's really cool. She's definitely a head turner. She'd even snap a few necks. But you know, if you like stories like we're doing with, so old school muscle with some gritty history and with some soul in it, just, go ahead and hit that like button and share it with a buddy and hit that bell for us. But this time, I'm going to hand it over to my dad so we can get started on this interview. Enjoy, guys. Thanks.
Welcome back to Perkins Pulse. We got a nice car we're going to interview today. Gabby's going to introduce him in a few minutes. But let's take a look at this Pro Street 63 Corvette. Look at this thing. Nice. It's all ready. We're going to walk around the car real quick. Then we'll get to interview the gentleman who owns this beautiful looking car. Look at the detail work on that car. That's a 540 cubic inch engine in it. We'll learn more about that engine and what else it can do in a few seconds. But just take a gander, take it all in, see what you're seeing. This is what World of Wheels is about. Showing different cars, what they look like, what they can do, and looking and then interviewing the gentlemen or the individuals who own these cars and what they're about and why they want to do something like this. As you can see, everything is detailed. The interior, the removable hood, and so forth like that. And now that you've seen the car, Gabby will start getting ready to introduce you to the gentleman who owns this beautiful piece of art. Now we will switch over.
Years since they started in '76, and I've won quite a few, but this one is one that I wanted to build for a long time. It's called a Pro Street Corvette. What that is it's a 63 original body, original frame, and the back half has been done, which means you can put a different rear end and bigger tires under it. And bought this one from a guy in Arkansas. I swapped him a '53 Corvette that I had, and then I've modified it heavily. The engine is a 450 cubic inch Dart motor. The heads are Brodex. It has a high lift, 3/4 inch lift roller cam, and a lot of the goodies that are on it were done in Bossier City by Kittler's. And it dynoed on his dyno at 833 horsepower at 5,500 RPM on 83 octane pump gas. So if I wanted to go up to 1,200 or so, I'd just put the Pro Stock C14 or 16 in it and be able to drive it. But it is a street legal car. It was completely gutted. It was purchased from the showroom and it was sent directly to the chassis shop. So it had never been titled for the street until I got a hold of it. So everything was gutted. The camel humps in the front, the seats, all the wiring, the motor for the windshield wipers, different rear end. So I had to change all of that stuff out and rebuild everything. Took about 3 years to do it. And then I started showing it. So I've been fortunate this year for the 50th anniversary here in Shreveport. I told Stephanie that I would take the front clip off of it, which they do in NHRA, so you can work on the motor. And you can see what's been done to the motor. And I opened the doors. They still have some tin work on the doors from its racing days. And you can see what's been done inside of it. Last year when I showed it here in one, had the doors were open, but the hood was on it. And so a lot of things have changed, but hoping for a good show today. Is there anything else I can tell you?
So, and like you said, it's been gutted and it's been a major project for you.
That's true.
What are some of the challenges that you came across?
Well, initially, these cars did not come with a big block.
Yeah.
So the frame is very tight. It was a small block, usually a 327. So in order to put the big block in, which didn't come in until like '67,
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of work on the frame. The portion that holds the motor in is not like your regular cars. These are flat plates that are welded to the side of the frame.
Okay.
Also, I had to change out the way the cooling system was made. I ordered a special radiator for that. because big blocks are hard to keep cool.
Yes, they are.
So we did that, went to the side pipes. I wanted to use zoomies on it, but the place in California that specializes in building those requires you to have the car. So I couldn't take it to California.
Yeah.
But the rear end was already in it. It's a Dana 60, which was one of the hot rear ends back in the 60s. And so I had to take out the spool that was in it and put in a Positrack for the streets. The wheels and tires in the front were on it already, and they're period. And in the rear, it had 31 by 18-inch wide slicks on 15-inch rims. And I ordered a set of Mickey Thompsons. I had to wait 3 months to get those. It was during COVID, so everything was expensive and everything took time.
Yeah.
The steering was all changed out. The brake system was all changed out. I cut the cage out of it because it had a funny car cage. It's very difficult to fit into it. So I cut the cage out. Underneath the tin work was the original floor. So I was able to recarpet it with the correct carpet. I bought the seats. My wife is a monogrammist, so she monogrammed Pro Street on the seats for me. And the restraints are strip legal 4-point restraints. And the transmission was a special build by TCI for me. They normally just build the 2-speed Power Glide, but mine was a special build Turbo 400. Excuse me, there we go.
You're fine.
And it's also running most of the racing equipment, Willwood, the carburetor 1050. It's a special build 1050, and the spark system for it, ignition system, is all MSD, and with a 7AL2 box, control box, special wires. Pretty much everything on it is special to it.
Yeah.
And I did leave the part of the roll cage that comes through the struts on the front, but I did add a special tubular suspension on the front, four-way coil-over adjustable shocks all the way around. So it's the original body with the original frame up to the back half, but everything else is pretty much new.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what's your favorite part with all of those challenges? What's your favorite part of this?
All the challenges. I think my favorite part was actually being an engineer. My favorite part was I like to have a problem that I can work on, and it can't be real simple. Saying it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So I have to have steel because I can't hurt that. It hurts me. But my favorite part was actually fitting the motor and the transmission to the chassis. All of that had to be fabricated.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to have the side pipes and the headers fit this frame, or that would have been a tough job. But that's probably my favorite part, because if you don't have a big motor in a Pro Street car, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's like a family car.
Yeah. And I know that it obviously has an interesting story, but what made you get this particular vehicle in general?
Well, I've had a lot of Corvettes all the way back to 53.
Okay.
Had a couple of 63s, a couple of 67s, but they were all pretty much stock except for the motor. I might have done something work on the motor. But I've always wanted a Pro Street car. I always wanted one with the big tires in the back. I love the fat tires because but it's got to sound mean and look mean. And so it took me probably 20 years before I found this one. If you didn't do it that way, you would have to gut the back end of it and do all that work yourself. There's not too many shops around that will do that. So that's my love. These Chevrolets, the big block, small blocks, I can build them in my sleep. Yeah. But I had this one built because I didn't have time to do it myself.
I understand. Yeah. Sometimes projects just get ahead of yourself.
They do. If you're busy, if you're working, especially.
Yeah. You mentioned that it had won last year here at World of Wheels. What other awards and nominations or prizes has it won?
Well, this one was just finished last year.
Okay.
So this is my second show. I had to borrow an enclosed trailer to take it to other shows. And there's another show coming up in Bossier City at the end of this month that I'll be in. All right. But so far I have not had the trailer that I have now so that I can travel with it to these other shows. But if you look at the jacket, you'll see the satin jacket on the back has the emblem of the World of Wheels. Yeah. And my wife monogrammed the awards that I have since '76.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, your wife is very talented.
She
on
is.
monograms.
She's very good, and she's very detail oriented too. So she works for a lot of businesses.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is one I think really to kind of take the game and to watch out for awards and these shows. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm anxious to continue showing it, but I think it'll do well.
Oh,
You know, because there's not too many around. There are a lot of Corvettes here, but they're mostly purists.
Yep.
And so we don't typically get along with
Yeah.
them very well.
This is kind of what me and my husband like to do, or at least plan. Is it's classic muscle, but with all the new tech.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really what we're into.
Yeah,
so
this
I
one
love it.
actually has the Dakota gauges. It has the electronics in it.
Oh, that's
And on the far side over there, my son calls me MacGyver
okay.
because I do things that are unusual. But
Yeah.
that box that Dakota Digital has to have to plug all the wires into, I actually moved it to the passenger side underneath the dash so you could swing it down. And I put a magnet in there so you could swing it down and get to your wires. Because a lot of the Dakota Digital boxes are hidden.
Yeah.
And they're very difficult to get to.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem, you got to go pull it out.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I didn't want that problem. But
Yeah.
that's my first attempt at electronic gauges, and I really like them. The only thing that was difficult that I'd never done before was it has a GPS speedometer. So you have to get out and you have to enter the type it is and all, and then you have to drive 1 mile. 1 mile, doesn't matter what the speed is. You can't stop. You can't back up.
Yeah.
And at the end of 1 mile, you push one simple button, and it's got your speedometer done.
All right.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like
that
that
is
about
really
it. Yeah,
cool.
I was a little scared of it, but
Yeah.
but it worked
Yeah.
okay. So
The way that you have this displayed is gorgeous. You can see the engine and like just the amount of work you've really put into it.
well, I
because,
appreciate that.
Like, yeah, it seems like the hood, taking the hood off, it kind of covers all of that amazing
It does.
engineering work you did. So I love what you did
Yeah.
with this.
Well, I
Like, it
appreciate that.
is
And of course,
gorgeous.
to make it street legal and get the sticker that's on the window and the license plate, everything has to work like a regular car.
Yep.
It took me a long time to find those high and low beam headlights. And since this was a clip on the front and never meant to have the flip up lights,
Yep.
I had to do some work on the
them out
grill,
and stuff,
yeah, so that they would show. But everything works, all the blinkers, I put on whole new wiring, the I did it steering column, all of that stuff is because the steering wheel was like this big, and I like a little bit smaller steering wheel. So, but it's street legal, 100% street
That's
legal.
awesome. I know you'd want to go to like future shows and stuff, but what other future plans do you have for this particular vehicle?
Well, right now I've got a show coming up in Bossier City. It's a Chevy show, and it's what they call the boardwalk, and the cars will be outside for that.
Okay.
And then there are shows coming up down the road. Natchitoches, Louisiana will have one in November. A lot of things that I can trailer to around the country. Mississippi, Dallas, that one that they have, I just missed it.
Yeah.
So I plan this next year to be going to a lot of those shows, signing up for a lot of them. And I'll probably change the format of the floor.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy that was working for me that we came up with. His company is called Shreveport Epoxy. And so he's new to it, but he's a great artist. And so he showed me some samples of what I wanted, which would be on MDF wooding, but it would look like marble. And it looks just like a marble floor. So I hated that he couldn't get it done, but something under this.
Yeah.
And you don't see it anywhere else. So it would just be pieced
and you're
together.
supporting local too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
you always want to support local small business.
Oh, absolutely. He came found me. So this next year we'll probably be showing some point in the year when he can finish it for me. Then we'll start showing it with that, and I think that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah. I know we're getting close to the end of our interview, but I just want to know, what is your favorite memory in a vehicle like this one ever? Your favorite memory of what brings it back?
I had a 63. In fact, I have pictures of it. Most people carry their family. I carry my cars.
Yeah.
But it was a 63 convertible, 327, 360 horse. It was a little bit different. And it was a special order. at the time I got that back in the 70s, I didn't know how to paint. So I went to a place called Woolco's and I bought a case of yellow spray paint. And I sprayed the car with 12 cans of yellow spray paint.
It's like canary yellow,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Well, it's the only thing I could think of that wouldn't show flaws. But when I got it, I traded an Anglia panel truck that I showed for that for the car. But like I say, I didn't know, really, I'm still too young, you know. And so I wanted to paint it because it was black, it was here gray, there white, and all that. So all I could think of was getting some spray paint. And one of my friends that owns a shop, specialty shop for painting Corvettes, and he painted my dragster, he ended up with a car after I got rid of it. And he said, some idiot painted this with spray paint cans. And I said, I'll be darned, you know. But we knew each other, so I told him, I said, that was my car, and I did that. So he's painted most of my cars. This one was actually painted before I picked it up, so it just needed to be buffed out a little bit. But that was my favorite car. I hated getting rid of it. I love convertibles, but I don't like the top down. And that's crazy because your hat blows off in the street and your hair gets all messed up.
Bit annoying.
Yeah, but I love the way they look. And of course, this one with the big tubs in the back, you can pop the deck open, you see the tubs. But so it's a hard top. And so they only made in '63. They made about 11,000 of the split window, and they made about 11,000 of the convertibles, and a certain number of those were hard tops.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. I've had dragsters, and I've been on the NHRA circuit, and that's fun. But I like to have things that nobody else can just go out and get.
Yeah.
You know,
the rarity.
So, yes. Yeah. And so when I first started building cars in my teens, I couldn't do much, didn't have much money. So first thing you know, somebody else has one just like yours. Yeah. And I said, I got out of college as an engineer. I said, I'm going to fix that problem.
Yep.
So, you know, now they'll buy it from me because they won't be able to build it like mine's built.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I really appreciate it.
Oh, you
Thank
bet.
you so much.
It's good to meet you guys. I appreciate you letting me talk.
Who have you been talking to again?
Tommy Tompkins, Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade and a hot rodder by heart.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, that Corvette definitely had a story to tell. We've got more here at Perkins Poltz, so make sure you hit that like button, hit the bell, and subscribe to us to stick around for more. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.